Hi folks, today I'm going to discuss something that everyone with a camper or RV should have, and that's an emergency repair kit. No matter how well prepared you are and how well you maintain your camper, things happen and you'll want to be able to handle it. I'm not talking about all the tools and supplies that you need to maintain your camper. I'm talking about those problems that you have to deal with while you're on the road. Stuff you have to fix, repair, replace, or patch up so that you can just keep camping. Here's a list of the things I have in my storage compartment whenever we're out. It's really not a lot, but it's the basic things that seem to be the most important to bring with us. So let's hop to it. As I've told you before, Mrs. Hoptuit and I have been camper and RV owners for over 17 years and have owned 7 different campers and a C-Class RV. During that time, we have had more than our fair share of issues while traveling that I had to take care of. My experiences have led me to create a list of tools and equipment that my campers rarely leave home without. This is a fairly generic list, but does focus on my 2 current campers, the Flagstaff Hardside Pop-Up and the KZ Durango Fifth Wheel. Don't worry, these tools and supplies will be good to have on any camper. Let's start with handling electrical issues. There's nothing worse than having an electrical system that's down. The first thing you'll need to do is find out what's not working, whether it's 120 volts or 12 volt system. To do that, you'll need a decent multi-tester. You don't need anything expensive and fancy, just something small, reliable, and easy to use. Get something that you don't mind keeping in your rig and take the time to learn how to properly use it. Don't forget to bring 12 volt fuses. Make sure you get the proper physical size and correct amperages for your camper. I've had plenty of times where the issue was just a bad fuse. If you have an older incandescent light inside or outside of your camper, keep extra bulbs for each type you use. I keep a collection of wire connectors. It's pretty common to have wiring issues, especially in the 12 volt systems. So bring along butt connectors and a small assortment of wire nuts. An electrician friend of mine suggested using these connectors. They come in multiple styles, including these reusable lever lock ones. They work very well on the 120 volt wires. You'll need a roll of electrical tape, assorted wire ties, and a set of crimpers for the butt connectors. This pair has wire strippers built in. A very common 120 volt electrical problem is with corroded contacts at the power box or with the cable ends. I bring a can of contact cleaner and some dielectric grease to keep power flowing, and I use them all the time. Okay, let's next think about the plumbing. This includes water, sewer, and propane systems inside and outside of the camper. There's a lot that can go wrong here, folks. I always carry spare washers and gaskets for my water and waste hoses. I can't tell you how often I've either lost a hose washer or lost or tore a hose gasket. Keeping spares is absolutely mandatory. I bring a roll or 2 of Teflon tape. If you ever have to redo a hose fitting or a propane or water line connection, you must have Teflon tape to make sure they properly seal. I also keep some repair fittings like this compression one that can repair PEX plastic water lines. I had to use one of these in my fifth wheel when a PEX elbow connection failed and started to spray water while we were camping in Ocala, Florida. I keep a set of both the elbows and straight connectors in my kit. Tubing cutters are great to have. They let you quickly make clean straight cuts in the tubing and work much better than trying to use a knife or saw. All right, let's talk about the other tools I need. I carry this small toolbox that has all the tools I always seem to use. I have a full set of screwdrivers. You can use just one of those drivers with the interchangeable ends instead, but I think regular screwdrivers just work better. Naturally, I have pliers. Needle nose, regular, square nose, water pump pliers, and a pair of diagonal cutters. It's a really good idea to also have a pair or 2 of vice grips. They're a great all-purpose tool that can be used for gripping, wrenching, or clamping. Yes, a hammer is mandatory because you never know if you have to persuade something. It doesn't hurt to bring a couple of crescent wrenches either. I toss in a set of Allen wrenches and a cheap razor knife. I have this 25-foot tape measure because it seems I'm always needing to measure something. Hey, now's a great time to remind you to subscribe to my channel. A decent socket set is another thing I might not always need, but it's really better to have it. This one has both 3/8 and 1/2 inch sets in standard and metric sizes. Adhesive tapes are a no-brainer to have. I always carry a roll of Eternabond tape. If I develop a seam leak or a skylight flange starts dripping, I can seal it up with this stuff. Likewise, I carry a roll of clear Gorilla Tape. Once a bad hailstorm punched a couple of holes in one of my skylights, and I was able to patch it up securely with Gorilla Tape. It's a great all-purpose tape that really holds well. Double-sided tape can hold things like loose trim work in place until you can get it permanently secured. Sometimes you just need to tape things together, so I do have the old standby duct tape. Let's face it, no toolkit is complete without a roll of this in it. Now for the things I don't want to stick, I carry a spray can of white lithium grease, a can of WD-40, and a can of 3-in-1 slide-out silicone lube. Something that I always have is a large plastic sheet or tarp. This is especially useful in my AFrame camper, where there's constantly a chance of some sort of leak developing. You AFrame owners know what I'm talking about. You never know if you'll need it, but if you do, you'll be happy you have one. The next item is one of the most important items I bring, a cordless drill. I picked up this one at Harbor Freight because it also comes with a powerful LED flashlight that shares the same battery pack. It's only 12 volts, but it's been fine for this type of work. With only one battery pack, I guess that as long as I don't have to use the drill while I'm using the flashlight, I'm okay. Bring along a few number 2 square head bits, a few Phillips head bits, and a drill bit set. You will need the extra screw bits because you'll be losing them. At least I do. Here are some more basics that I like to have. A pair of work gloves, disposable rubber gloves, and an old towel or two all come in really handy. Finally, never, ever, ever leave the house without the equipment to change a flat or blown tire. During one trip to Florida, I had a flat tire on my Coachman Freedom Express, and I had left my jack at home in the A-frame camper. Luckily, we were traveling with another couple, and he wasn't as dumb as I was, and he lent me his jack. You will also need a lug wrench. I like the star wrench. And of course, a tire pressure gauge. For a real emergency, I always carry a tire plug kit with me, just in case. If you don't want to use one, then you might want to have an emergency can of Fix-A-Flat. So that sums up the stuff I bring with me. I'm sure there's other things you might want to take, but this list will handle the vast majority of things that you might have. Okay, I know some of you are rolling your eyes and thinking, seriously, you really need to bring all of that? I absolutely feel I do, and I've had to use a lot of this stuff over the years and miles that we have traveled. Like they say, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. As you've probably noticed, we're getting ready to hit the road on a pretty big adventure. Keep an eye on my channel as I'm planning to post quite a few brand new 5-minute campground reviews in the next few weeks. Please high-five that like icon, jingle the bell, and subscribe. For those of you that are already following my Mr. Hop to It channel, I really can't thank you enough. You all rock. Until next episode, keep camping. Until next episode, keep camping.